Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know He's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him." If you need to reconnect with God today, He's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, He's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with Him isn't as it should be, cry out to Him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask Him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Getting on base. The Cats stole 33 bases while they were in Florida, and they walked 32 times. Getting base runners in scoring position is vital for this ball club. Once they're in scoring position, this team has the firepower to bring them all around. As we said earlier, they scored 55 runs in 6 ball games. A stands for alive. We come alive, start with the bats, then the defense will follow suit. It is possibly the best defensive ball club Neosho has seen in a long, long time, allowing less than half the runs that they scored in that 5 ball games, Matt. They allowed only 25 runs. T stands for team. Coach Kilgore, and we'll talk about him a little bit more in just a few minutes. Coach Kilgore has a great winning record. He's developing a team culture of oneness. Everybody is striving for the same thing. A winning season is our expectations are high. And who better to pin those expectations on than this group of really experienced kids? S, start with the end in sight. These cats didn't have the kind of season they felt like that they could have had last year. There's a lot of kids on this team that still remember that. By the end of the season, however, they were playing with their best baseball. There's a lot of these kids, like I said, that remember that. They want to show everybody, including them themselves, exactly what they're made of. Just keep your eye on that golden ring, and the rest will take care of itself. And that's what it takes in order to have keys for the Cats. We will take another time out real quick. The Cats are out on the field right now, and we will come back with the starting lineup and so much more. We will be right back with you. This is Neosho Wildcats you're watching on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. I'm done with baby for right now. We'll jump in when we these around the way and then it'll be Test.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
Hi, I'm Pastor Mike of Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a minute to share grace with you today. And what is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something that you don't deserve. I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God has made a way for me to have one by His grace. Titus 2 says the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. Have you accepted that gift of grace? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
And welcome back. It's time for the starting lineups. The starting lineups are being brought to you by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. For your Neosho Wildcats, coming in with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. The head coach is Coach Keith Kilgore, who's also our athletic director. He's assisted by Drew Osborne, Jacob Galbraith, and Marcus Crawford. Managers are Stella Barrett, Grace Morgan, Quinlan Depew, and Raylan Langford. We'll start off the lineup with the center fielder. He's a senior, and he's the speedster on the ball club, Finn Versluis. Number 2 is going to be the third baseman. Played a lot of second base for us last year, Jaden Nichols. Brody Crane, the Arkansas verbal commit E, will be in right field. He pitched quite a little bit, and he had 14 strikeouts while he was in Florida this last week. Drake Jennings, number 13, will be playing in left field. Canton Smith, the senior, will be running the ball club on the infield, number 34, and he's behind the plate. Number 1 is Hudson Williams, moved over from third base to shortstop this year. Number 27 will be Clem McInturf. He is also playing first base, and we'll see some pitching from him, Matt, before the year's out. Number 2, Jaden Fisher, came in towards the end of the year for the Cats, played a lot of JV ball, but at the end of the year when the Cats were playing their best ball, he did a little bit of shortstop and second base too. He'll be holding down the second base position. Alec Rodriguez, A-Rod, is number 9. He will be the designated hitter, and on the mound for the Neosho Wildcats, the senior, Boston Patterson, who is a committee to Baker University, where he'll be playing football, but we saw Boston last year do some of his very best work again towards the end of the field. And what we've got for you on the other side is we have got the last names of the Purple Dragons from Pittsburgh. Eric Miller is the head coach. This is his second year there. And it starts out with Berge, who is number 6, and he will be at the third base position. Second hitter is going to be Nichols, and he has got the pitcher, and he will be on the mound as well. The first baseman, number 11, Fern, will be next, and number 4 is D.H. King, so look for some firepower out of him. Number 14 in the 5th position is Hayden, and he actually plays third base. Bush is the catcher behind the plate for the Purple Dragons. Then it is Vaughn, number 1, and he'll be playing center field, followed by Johnson, number 17, who's playing in left field, and Miller, number 9, who actually is in right field. And the flex player will be O'Brien, and he'll play second base. The Cats are taking their infield warm-ups, and they'll be back in just a minute or two, but let's talk for just another minute or two, Matt, about this ball club. Coach Keith Kilgore has come in and was actually, he was in Arkansas, and he coached for 16 years baseball there and another 9 years football. And he has not coached since 2017, but he has a combined record of 322 wins and 137 losses. Pretty good record, huh?
Yeah, it is a good record right there.
Yeah, that is a good record. His philosophy is respect the game and respect your opponent. Neosho had a great summer. They are bringing back 12 letter winners from last year. As we said, last year wasn't exactly what the Cats had in mind. And they ended up with a record of 10-23, but they won a couple of ball games. Nobody expected them to win in district playoff before they were out of it altogether. So we're pretty excited about what the Cats are going to be doing, and we're excited to get this ball game underway. Now, it looks like that we've got the two umpires out, and they're talking about the ground rules here at this ballpark. This ballpark is actually owned by the city, and the coach told me that they have to share time with another group that we'll be seeing, but they'll be coming to our house this next year, and that's St. Mary's of Culligan's, and it's the only ballpark that's around. So being able to get on and be able to play, be able to practice is reasonably difficult. Now you're seeing Coach Keith Kilgore, and he is lining up out there in the middle with Coach Miller, and we'll be getting this ball game underway in just a few minutes. Right now, you're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Luss Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho, and I want to give you some encouragement today. None of us are perfect, but sometimes we feel like we have messed our lives up so badly that even God can't fix us or help us. I want to assure you that's not the case. In Romans 8:28, we read that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That means that God can even use your mistakes to do good in your life. I want to encourage you to trust God and let Him give you peace about your past, a purpose in your present, and hope for your future. With KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
Okay, I'm going to read some sponsors here that help make this all happen for KNEO. First Will Free Baptist Church, and we have Family Market, the Farm Bureau of Josh Dotson, Edgewood Bowling, always a great place. The Big Nickel, IBC Insurance Benefit Consultants.
Okay, and here we go. We're getting ready to start off here. And we hear the PA system beginning to line everybody up, and we'll have their starting lineups, and then I'm assuming that we'll have the national anthem, and we'll recognize our crowd. We'll recognize all of those that have fought so hard for our freedom. And here come the Cats. They're lining up out there in that far corner, and we will, of course, they won't go out to their positions because they will be the first to bat. You can hear there some Wildcat fans that have made the trip over here. It was about 59 minutes, an hour to get over here once we negotiated through Webb City and Carl Junction and got over here to the ballpark. We'll be ready to go here in just a couple of minutes. Rod will be doing the DHing tonight for the Cats, as we said earlier. This will be the first opportunity for us to see the Cats. We kept track of what was going on while they were in Florida. And what a great opportunity to show that team culture of oneness. Now the Purple Dragons are being introduced, and they're going out to the field. Nichols, number 20, is out there for him. I believe he is a senior. Carson Nichols, and he is a senior. Hayden is a junior, and he will be playing third base. Cooper Vaughn. Alex Johnson is playing in left field for them. That's going to round it up. Cash O'Brien is the flex. As we said, the pitcher, big case of Nichols is on the mound. We're getting ready for our national anthem. And with that, in honoring our fine country, we begin the Neosho Wildcats Keith Kilgore era. As we said earlier, the Cats went down to Florida and they played in a tournament that gave them an opportunity to play just a whole lot of different people, and they won 4 ball games and lost 1. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited, Matt, to see this ball club get going, and here's what I expect to happen. Denver Sluice is a speed demon, and if we get him on base, then just expect him to head right on down to second base without even thinking about it. And then Jaden Nichols is no slouch himself. If we get those 2 guys on base, then we've got the firepower to bring them on around and get some runs scored. Big Carson Nichols, he's a senior, looks like he stands about 6'1", is a right-hander. He's out on the mound. His battery mate is sophomore Matt Bush. And we'll see just exactly how those 2 pan out. I was expect to see what we've seen in the past with these teams from Kansas, Matt, is they don't play a whole lot of ball games at the beginning of the year, so this may be their first year. We may see a lot of different pitchers. We may see some pitching changes, and we may see some fielding changes as well. So but we're ready to go. Now, mission rules still are in effect as far as pitching is concerned. And pitching is concerned with juniors and seniors, you're allowed 105 pitches. If you come up to that number 105 pitch in the middle of a batter, you get to finish that batter. But also in Missouri, and we'll see how that works, the pitcher has 20 seconds from the time he catches the ball in order to bring it across the plate. The batter, on the other hand, once the ball gets in the pitcher's hand, he's got 10 seconds to get back in the box. Here's Vin Versluis, the senior, a center field speedster. And here's the first pitch. It's high and inside for a ball. Versluis looking down at Keith Kilgore down on third base to see what to do next. There's a fastball down the middle. That evens the count at 1-1. The Cats are going to do their very best to get on base fast. And there's a curveball on the outside, but a little bit low, and that'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. Freshmen and sophomores can pitch 95 pitches a day, then they have to stop and there's rest. There's a little chin music. That makes the count 3-1. Versluis is very disciplined at being able to get up to the plate. We saw him get on base, Matt, a lot of times last year, and he's not afraid to take a walk on balls, and there he goes.
Yep.
So the Cats have got the first runner on first base by way of a walk. Versluis, that's going to bring up Jaden Nichols. As we said, Nichols last year played a lot of second base for the Cats during the latter part of the year. Played a little bit of shortstop as well. And he was one of those guys that did not feel like that we had as good a season last year as we could have. And he's going to do his very best to see if we can't get this Cats ball club going. Versluis over on first base. Here comes the first pitch. And there's a high ball out of play for foul ball, strike 1. Nichols stands up there about 6 foot tall as well. So at first pitch he jumped after. Versluis kind of looking it over, bouncing back and forth at first base. There's the next pitch. There's a call strike. So Nichols down in the count 0-2. A little bit different than Versluis. He was 3-1 and went ahead and walked. So Cade's going to have to be guarding the plate, and I would imagine he'll be fastball. And there's a ground ball that is fouled off. Versluis was halfway down to second base at the time that ball was hit. So real early, Coach Kilgore has hit and run on. And you see his brand of ball. He will put a whole lot of different things into play. And here comes the next pitch from Nichols. And there's swung on strike, and Versluis is in second base.
Overthrown
and he's
ball.
Up. That's right, it was overthrown, so Versluis goes all the way around to third base. Nichols strikes out for the first out. Here's Brody Crane. Brody did a lot of catching for the Cats last year. In fact, as a freshman, he jumped in and did some catching for us as well, but he's a young man that is blessed with a huge, huge fastball. And when I say huge, I'm talking 91, 92 miles per hour. Here comes the first pitch, and it's popped, and it's going to be right back over here behind us for foul ball, strike 1. The Cats have got one out, but they've got something going. Versluis all the way around to third base. After Crane, it will be Drake Jennings. And there's a swung on strike 2. So Crane early down in the count. Now he'll settle in, and he will going to have to protect the plate. Here comes the next pitch, and they swung at that, but
dropped.
And the Cats, nice job by the Cats. What happened that time, that ball was dropped, and the catcher had to throw it down to first, but Versluis comes on around to score. With his speed, he was able to make it on home, and it really wasn't even close, was it, Matt?
No.
So there's 2 outs, but the Cats are up. And here is Drake Jennings, left fielder. Yeah, there's a call strike 1, caught the outside corner. Looks like Nicholson is settling in, and he's throwing strikes. Here comes the next pitch underway. That one's high, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. And there's another ball. 2 balls and a strike. Nicholson from the stretch. Here comes a pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. That's going to make the count 3-1. Kenton Smith, the senior catcher, will be up next. Three and one. I bet he'll be taking this one, and that one's outside too for ball 4. So the Cats have got their second batter on base by way of a walk. Kenton taking off the rest of his catching gear, and he's going to come up to the plate. Kenton had the ability last year to hit the ball to just about any field, but one of his very favorite places was the power alley in right center, right over the shortstop's head. We'll see if he starts that again this year. Drake over on first base is kind of looking it over. There's a ball outside. Drake's just a sophomore, but apparently he has been able to show that he has got some pop on the bat because he was batting number 4 for us. There was a pitch out over by Nichols to the first baseman, Fern, and he was back in plenty of time. Here comes the next pitch underway. There's call strike 1. So Carson Nichols evens the count on Kenton Smith, 1-1. Beautiful day here in Pittsburg, Kansas. It rained on us a little bit getting here, but it didn't last very long, did it, Matt?
No, just a few sprinkles, really.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, the sun is out, and it is a gorgeous day, probably 70 degrees out. And Drake over at first base, and he's going to run, and there's a hit and run. Ball goes to third base. Third baseman is up with it, and they got him. Bang, bang play, but nice job by putting the ball in play. That was a 5-3. Cats scored 1 on no hits. There were 2 walks, and there were 2 strikeouts. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
And welcome back. We're getting ready to start the bottom half of the first inning. Jet Berge, the shortstop, will be starting off for the Purple Dragons from Pittsburg. Kenton Smith gets the ball down to Hudson Williams, who now is playing shortstop, and he takes the relay, and we get it back in, and we're ready to go. On the mound for the Cats is the big defensive ball player. And I say defensive because he pitches, he does not hit, Boston Patterson. But Boston Patterson had quite a season football-wise. He was all conference first team receiving in special teams as well, Matt. So two-sport athlete, and here comes the first pitch from him, and there's a pop-up, and it's going to be out of bounds for back over behind us for call. Strike one. Nichols, the big pitcher, will be up next. And then it'll be Beck Fern. And that evens the count at 1-1. And there's another pitch that is a little bit outside for a ball. That makes the count 2 balls and a strike. I'm trying to get the first names of some of these other ball players here. Boston looks down, he gets the signal, and there's a pitch, and there's a call strike right on the outside corner. So that evens the count at 2-2. Carson Nichols will be up here in just a minute. Matt tells me that he had 21 pitches in that first inning. And there is a swung on strike 3. And Jet Berge is out, and there's the first out on the side. Here comes Carson Nichols. Stands in on the right-hand side. Austin Patterson looks down. Here comes the pitch. And maybe just a little bit outside for a ball. Comes the next pitch and hit him, so you will get a trip down to first base. First hit pitch of the year. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter and the first baseman. He bats from the left-hand side, and that is Beck Fern. Steps in Boston, looking down, looks over at first base, checks the runner. Here comes his first pitch. And took something off of that, a little bit of a curveball outside corner, ball 1. Looks down, and there's a patch over to McInturf, and he's back in plenty of time.
He wants to make sure that runner's staying put.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, but the runner probably has no idea what kind of an arm that Caden Smith has got.
I'll just tell you.
Here comes the next one, and he's off. Smith's up with the throw, got it in plenty of time, and the runner's in. Nice throw by Kenton Smith that time, but just did not get the tag applied. So there's a stolen base, and Nichols, the pitcher, is on first base. Runner on second base, and there is one out. Here comes the next pitch from Boston Patterson. Call strike. Caught the outside corner. It's going to make the count 2 balls and a strike. Flag is blowing just a little bit cross section field. Not a whole lot. It's just standing out there in dead center field, and it is just barely hanging out there. I think we're talking about 5 to 6 miles an hour. There is a fair ball, and that's going to bring in at least 1 run. And Fern is on his way to second base, and they got him. Nice job by the Cats. Great throw in from Brody Crane. Matt, that shows you what a pitcher playing right field can do to make that pitch in there. So.
Kid's got a good arm.
He does, and there is 1 run in. However, there's the second out on a great throw from the right fielder over to Hudson Williams to put the tag on. So there are 2 outs. Here's Connor King, the designated hitter. It's the first pitch from Boston, and that ball's going to get past Canton Smith. No problem, though. There is nobody on base. So the score is 1-1, and we're in the first inning in Pittsburg, Kansas. Beautiful, beautiful afternoon. We want everybody to, here comes the next pitch, and there is that little off-speed, kind of a sinker. I call it a backdoor curveball, man. I don't know what you'd call that, but they just caught the batter. And what a great, great pitch. Here comes the next pitch underway. In spite of Kenton Smith's best efforts to frame that pitch, it was a ball. So be with us on Thursday night when the Cats have their first home game against the Ridge Runners from Grove. There's the next pitch, and there's a foul ball, and it's fouled off. That's going to make the count 2-2. So deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Connor King, the designated hitter, takes a big deep breath. He steps back in. Here comes a pitch from Boston Patterson. Oh, there it is again. Took a little something off of it. It just did not drop down. It makes the count full at 3-2. Cats could get out of this, and then they were going to have Williams, McInturf, and Fisher up to bat. And there was that one was another one that he took a little bit off of. King got fooled and was way out in front of it, and all he could do was spoil it. He steps back in. Connor King's a sophomore, I believe. And here comes the pitch from Boston. Got him! Got him. So Boston gets 2 strikeouts as well. I don't know how many pitches he has, but that is going to even things up at 1 after 1 inning. The Neosho Wildcats won, and the Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh won. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226. Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
And welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. The Wildcats up to bat. The score is 1-1, and here's Hudson Williams. One of the things, Matt, that we know about Hudson Williams last year, he had a 12-game streak of getting on base at least once every ball game. And there's swung on, and he's going to have to pick it up in order to get over there. But there's the throw from third base, so there's the first out. So there's one down, and here is Big Lim McInturf. We saw him more playing some JV ball last year, but he came in and did a little bit of relief pitching for us as well. Young man has spent a lot of time in the weight room, you can tell. And he's ready to play this game. Here's the first pitch, and it's in right on the outside corner for call strike 1. Outfield is playing pretty much straight away. Right field is playing way back there. And there's a pitch low into the dirt, so that's going to even the count at 1-1. The shortstop, Burgess, is all the way back on the grass, as is the second baseman. And there's a pitch that's going to be high and outside. That's going to make the count 2-1. Boston Patterson had 18 pitches in that first inning, and we'll keep you apprised of that count. There's another ball. It's on the outside. So once again, in very familiar ground for Carson Nichols, the count is 3-1. He walked 2 in that first inning. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a call strike. McInturf didn't think so. He was getting ready to throw the bat down and head down to first base. McInturf, Fisher, and A-Rod will be up. And there was a little blooper, just kind of stuck his bat out at it and spoiled that pitch out of the way. So that makes a full count. On big number 27, standing in there on the right-hand side of the plate as he bats. There's a off-speed pitch, and it's going to draw a walk. So
off he goes to first.
McInturf to first base. That's exactly right. Here's Jaden Fisher. Number 2 plays second base for the Wildcats. Had a outstanding basketball season coming in. He came in 2 years ago, actually, and came in halfway through the basketball season. Started in January, but he played all year last year and was real productive for the Cats. There's the first pitch. It's on the outside, and it's low for a ball. McInturf over on first base. Oh, hit him.
Oh, got him.
So, yeah, we're 1 for 1 now. Jaden goes down to first base with the hit pitched. Nichols got hit with a pitch by Boston Patterson. Came on around to score in the first inning. Let's see if the Cats can return the favor. Alex Rodriguez played a lot of outfield for the Cats last year, but he's ready to step in there. He does some pitching as well, and he had some injuries and played through all of those and was still a contributor for the Cats. Here comes the first pitch from Nichols, and that is low and outside for a ball. Looked like his fastball is continuing to be on the outside and just a little bit low. Cats will, if they're disciplined enough, then we get people on base. There's a next pitch, and that one's kind of a high riser, ball 2. Top of the batting order is up after A-Rod. And pitcher is going to take a minute, and coach is going to come out and talk to him for just a minute. So, Matt, while we've got some time now, let's thank some of our sponsors here.
Okay, let's see. We've got Tally Tire. We've got the law opposite of Wood and Peterson. New Mac Electric and the Sports Locker. KSN and KODE. Zach's Car Wash. McKay Quality Roofing.
And we're grateful for all of those sponsors that we have. We want you to stay tuned for the post-game show with Coach Keith Kilgore. It'll be his first post-game show, and that's being brought to you by Arvest Bank, who is proud to make Neosho their home. Rodriguez steps back in, hits his chest a time or two, and he's ready to go. And there's another ball that almost got away from the catcher, Max Bush, but everybody stays put. There's 3 balls and no strikes. I don't expect him to be swinging on this pitch. As much as he wants to hit the ball, he's disciplined enough, and there's ball 4. So the bases are now loaded, and here comes the man that came around to score, walked and came around to score, Finn Versluis. What a great opportunity for the Cats here. There are no outs. Versluis is going to be very, very careful because we certainly would take a run that was given to us. And there's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike 1. You remember in the first inning, Finn just kind of manufactured the run himself. He got on by way of a walk, stole second, went around to third on a overthrow, and then came in and scored on a drop call third strike. There's a strike. There's no balls and 2 strikes on for Versluis. Jaden Nichols and Brody Crane up. And got him. So there's the first out And the Cats have got one out. Here's Jaden Nichols. Jaden had a strikeout his first time up. Bases loaded. The Cats do not need to let this opportunity get past them. And there is a ball that's hit high and back behind us for foul ball, strike one. And Jaden is one of those guys that can put the ball in play, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Here comes the next pitch, and he holds off on, and it was outside for a ball. That'll even the count at 1-1. McInturf on third, Fisher at second, and Rodriguez on first. And there's another one, looks like an off-speed pitch that was way low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. I don't see anybody working over in the Purple Dragons bullpen. And there's a solid hit. That's going to be right up the middle. And here comes one. Here comes another run that's going to come around and score. And we've got a runner going on into third base. Nice shot by Jaden, and that brings in 2 runs for the Cats. And A-Rod is around to third base. Nichols line shot that ball just like that ball had eyes, just over the shortstop side of second base, and could have run and run.
A nice line drive.
It certainly was. So that makes the Cats 3-1, and there is 1 out. Runners on first and third. Nichols over on first, and there is another off-speed pitch on the inside to Brody Crane for ball 1. Be careful about Jaden. He's got some speed, and he may very well take off. But I tell you, A-Rod's got some speed over there on third base, so if we have a play on, then we may very well see another score for the Cats. Brody Crane at the plate. There's a swung on, and that's a long drive. Unfortunately, it's foul, but I think that went over the fence, Matt.
It did.
In right field. We know that Brody has a lot of power, and he gave us an exhibition of it right there. So now there's a ball and a strike. There's 2 outs, and ducks on the pond for the Cats still. And the ball's thrown right back over. Jaden's doing a great job of just letting the pitcher know that he's there. Trying to get his focus off of Crane. Hopefully he'll throw Crane something he can hit. And there it is again. There's a throw right back to first base. Apparently Mr. Fern and Nichols have got some things going because it does not bother them. There's a foul back, and Jaden had second base stolen. I'm not sure where that ball went, but
about hit that poor man out there. He didn't have a clue.
There's some more balls coming out of the Dragons dugout, Pittsburg dugout. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes on Brody Crane. If he gets something in his wheelhouse, we score more runs. And there was a ball outside, and Nichols goes on down to second base that time with a stolen base. So now we've got runners in scoring position on second and third. There's 2 outs. Here comes the pitch, and it's a swung on, and it's another one of those drop pitches, but they got him. Crane has struck out twice, but not without causing some real problems. Cats pick up 2 more. And we go down to the bottom half of the second inning, and the Cats are up by a score of 3-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. We're at the J.C. Ballpark, and the Neosho Wildcats are up on the Purple Dragons from Pittsburg by a score of 3-1. It is the bottom half of the second inning. John Ball, Matt Ball, glad you're with us. We're watching the Wildcats, as we've said earlier. This is the Keith Kilgore era, and it's the first ball game. We say it's the first ball game. It's not really, because we played 5 ball games in Florida during spring break, and the Cats came away from that with a 4-1 record. Here comes the first pitch from Boston Patterson, called strike one. One of the ball games that Boston pitched in Florida, he went the whole way, pitching 99 pitches, and has a victory to his credit. He's looking over. He and Canton Smith are trying to get things together. The home plate umpire says, wait a minute, let's stop and talk about that for just a minute. And the base runner, the batter is Cole Hayden. Cole Hayden plays third base for the Purple Dragons. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and it's fouled right back at us for strike two. Sluice is playing dead center, but he is not completely dead center. He is just a little bit to the second base side of second base, and there's a ground ball that is going to go to McInturf. McInturf bobbles it, but gets it over to Boston for the first out. So 3-1, and the Cats have got the first out. Here's sophomore Max Bush, the catcher. He comes in batting from the right-hand side of the plate, which means he is a lefty. Here comes the first pitch from Boston, and that one's on the high outside corner for a ball. Excited to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining us for this first ball game. So the Cats back home. There's another ball outside for ball two. We want to remind you to be with us at 5 o'clock start time in Neosho at the Marion Family Sports Complex Thursday night when the Cats take on the Ridge Runners from Grove. And oh, there it was. There was the pitch where he pulled the string, Matt, and that ball curved in and just caught the batter, just looking. So now the count's 2 balls and a strike on Bush, the catcher. Here comes the next pitch, and it's high and outside for a ball. It's a good opportunity for the Cats. We need to defensively bingo, bango, bongo, get back in and let's score some more runs before they have a chance to think about it. And there's that curveball again, strike two. Boston used that curveball a lot last year, and towards the end of the season, he had almost a little knuckleball that he put into his repertoire. There it is again.
Whiff.
And that fouled off. So the count remains the same. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Canton Smith looking at the umpire, giving him a choice of a couple of baseballs, and gets the ball back out to Boston. And look down, and here we go. Here comes the next pitch underway. Swung on, got him. Strike 3. So there's 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Cooper Vaughn, the center fielder. I like the way that this Wildcat team is working as a team. They put the ball around the horn, got the ball back to Jaden Nichols, and he walked up over to Boston Patterson. And he hit gloves and said, let's go get him. Boston looks down. Here comes his first pitch, and there it is, called strike 1. I don't know what it is about that pitch, whether it's S-curves or what it does, and there's not a whole lot of speed to it, but when it drops in, it drops in. So Cooper Vaughn has a call strike. Here comes the next pitch, and he's going to foul that one back out of play. Strike 2. Boston's not wasted a whole lot of pitches this inning, so it'd be good to get get this one and get back up to bat. Here comes the next pitch underway. Got him! Call strike 3, and just like that, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and the Cats are up by a score of 3-1 after 2 innings. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats baseball on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
All Wildcats all the time. Check out Neosho Wildcats dedicated video portal at kneo.org. It's a site dedicated completely to your Neosho Wildcats. Watch the games live and see upcoming game schedules on the Neosho Wildcats portal at www.kneo.org.
There we go, and we are grateful for that. And if you ever have a question, sometimes our ball games start a little bit different. Now, most all of our ball games will probably start at 5 o'clock when it's a home game, with the exception of some of them that would have to come from a couple hours away, and they might stop earlier. But as we say, as always, pay attention to your Neosho Wildcat portal, and we'll give you the time of all the ball games. Cats are up by a score of 3-1, and it is going to be sophomore Drake Jennings up to bat. Not really any balls hit to the outfield so far, Matt, which is somewhat interesting. Well, with the exception of Jaden Nichols, who had that ball that was line shot out to center field. That's really the only ball that's been hit to the outfield.
Yeah, so far.
So we're ready to get this thing underway, and Jennings, who had a base on balls his first time up and was going down to second base when we had the last out there in the first inning. So here comes the first pitch, and it looks to me like we have had a pitching change, and we most certainly have. We will see who the new pitcher is, but there is that evens the count at 1-1.
Number 6.
Number 6, and number 6 is Jet Burgess. So he has come in and he's pitching, and there's a hard hit ball, and that could be foul. That was a well hit ball. It hit the fence out there at the top of the fence in left field. I thought it had a chance of getting out of here, but it was just a long strike. So the count's a ball and 2 strikes on Jennings, the left fielder. Here comes the next pitch from Bergen. There's a call, strike 3. Got him. We've done some other changing around in the batting order for Pittsburg, and we'll tell you what those are as soon as we can get them. But Jet Burgess, who was playing shortstop, is in to pitch, and there's a second pitch on the outside to Canton Smith for a ball. That is the kind of pitch that Canton Smith would take low and outside and drive it up that power alley in right center field. And there is a high ball. It's towering. I believe it's going to be out of play for a foul ball. So 2 balls and a strike on Canton. As you can see, there's a little bit of shadow starting to come our direction, but what a beautiful, beautiful day for baseball. And as Coach Larry Perkins would say, where else would you rather be than here with Neosho Wildcats? There's call strike 2. The count now is even at 2-2. There is one out. After Canton Smith will be Hudson Williams. And Berge looks down. Here comes a stretch and the pitch, and there's a solid hit to the shortstop. He's hustling it up, and they got it over there for the 6-3. Now there is 2 outs. And now the shortstop is Nichols, so he tried to right the ship on his own a little bit. I guess he and Berge just traded places, and he gathered that ball in and got it over to Fern at first base. Here's Hudson Williams. Here comes the first pitch, and there is a solid ball that's hit, and it's being tracked all the way back to center field, but the center fielder, Cooper Vaughn, caught it, and 3 up and 3 down. So after 2 1/3 inning, or 2.5 innings of play, the Cats are up by a score of 3-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KENO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. John Ball, Matt Ball with you in the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. No score for the Cats in the top half of the 3rd inning, but the score is 3-1. The ball comes from Boston Patterson down to Canton Smith, over to Hudson Williams, and around the horn we go, and we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. The Blue Dragons have yet to get through the batting order. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a hit on top of the head. Thank goodness for helmets, but number 17, Alex Vaughn, will go to first base, and that is the second from the Cats. They're going to talk to him for just a minute, make sure that he's okay. Home plate or base umpire goes over and looks it over. Got a runner on the first base, and here is Caleb Miller, the right fielder. Then we'll have the top of the batting order, and the pitcher, Jet Berge, will have a chance to help his own cause. Boston looking over. That was that little high inside curveball that did not drop. That ball's a little bit on the other side. It's low and outside for ball 1. Cats playing pretty well straight back and back. Brody Crane in right field is almost in the dead middle of right field. Drake Jennings is way over from the line on left field. In fact, he's almost lined up with shortstop. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner on first base. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats. Looks over, checks the runner. Here comes a pitch, and there's a pitch. Safe. Well, he was safe. There was a well thrown ball that time, but the runner got in plenty of time. So now, Purple Dragons have a runner on second base with no outs. And there's 2 balls and no strikes on the batter, Caleb Miller. Boston looks back. Here comes the next pitch underway. And that one's high, fouled right back over the top of us for strike 1. Boston looks around a little bit, and he steps back onto the mound. He works from the stretch. Here comes his pitch underway, and there is another ball that goes right back into the Purple Dragons dugout. In fact, I think it was caught by one of their players. That evens the count at 2-2. Top of the batting order, Jed Burgess will be up next. Boston looks at second base. Here comes the pitch. And that's plenty of time to look at it, but that's going to be a ball on the outside. That's going to run the count full for the right fielder, Caleb Miller. Boston doing what he needs to. He's focusing on the batter now. Looks back over at second base. Here comes the next pitch underway, and it's a pop fly, and Boston calls for it. He's got it, so there's the out. Cats had to have that one out. That's the way it starts. That brings up the top of the batting order, Burgess. Burgess struck out his first time up. Nichols was hit. Nickel comes up after him. He was hit and came around and scored Purple Dragons' only run. Boston looks back at second base. Here comes a pitch underway, and that was that slow curveball. It was a little bit outside. Burgess wanted it, but he held back, and rightfully so. Looking back, and we're getting ready. Here comes the pitch, and there's a call, strike one. It was a little more of a straight pitch. I'm not going to call it a fastball because he still took a little something off of it, but that's what we've seen Boston do. He will mix up his pitches a whole lot, use a lot of off-speed stuff, and there's a pitch that was probably his fastball, and it was high and inside for a ball. Steps off the mound, steps back to the mound, looks down at Canton Smith, gets the call, looks back at second base, checks the runner. Here comes the pitch, and there's a ground ball to shortstop Williams, and he's got the throw over to first base and gets the out. Nice job by showing his long arm.
It was a great throw.
Boston Williams, great play. So that was 6-3, and there's two outs. Runner advances to third base. The best part about that play as far as Hudson Williams is concerned was his focus, because that runner was stepping right across in front of him as that ground ball was coming by, and he kept his focus and was able to haul that ball in and get it over to first. Here's Carson Nichols, moved from pitcher to, and it looks like there's, we almost had a pick off, but the ball got away from Jaden Nichols. But the runner stayed at third base. Here comes the next pitch. And there it was, deep inside for a call strike. Nichols threw 47 pitches, and it was just about done for him after that. And he and Mr. Berger traded places, and he's gone to shortstop now. Here comes the next pitch from Boston. Boston call strike two. Boston had 13 pitches in the second inning, so he's moving right along at a good rate. Looks down, and thing about Boston, he just, the more he goes, the better he gets. Looks over at third base. Here comes the third pitch, and there is a high fly ball, and we've got two people going for it. Williams gets it, runs out, and catches it. So that was a fly ball to center field, but no damage done. The Cats had a hit batter, got around to third base, but no runs were scored. At the end of 3 innings, the score is 3-1 in favor of the Neosho Wildcats. We're going to take time out for this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. Matt Ball, John Ball with you. We are getting ready to start the top half of the 4th inning. Cats are up by a score of 3-1, and we're going to start things off with the big first baseman, Lynn McInturf. He walked and came around to score in that last inning on a line shot by Jaden Nichols. The Cats scored 2 runs, so we're hoping we'll do that again, Matt.
Yeah. Tell you, he's a big kid right here.
He is a good size young man, and on the mound before the Purple Dragons is Jet Burgess. He had 13 pitches in his last inning. McInturf's in there. Here comes the first pitch, and that's high and outside for a ball. Burgess looks down, gets a signal from Bush, and there it is. It's a ball outside, ball 2. So we get McInturf on base. It is Jaden Fisher who came around to score, and then Alex Rodriguez. Here comes the third pitch out of the way, and that one's a ball low and outside. So the count's 3-0. I would be terribly surprised if McInturf doesn't take a couple right here. That's 3 balls in a row that's been thrown by Burgess. And there's ball 4. So McInturf with his second pass. And here's Jaden Fisher. Jaden was hit by a pitch his last time up, and he came around and scored for the Cats. Looking over at Coach Kilgore. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch, maybe a pinch runner, and we'll see who that pinch runner is, see if you can tell who that is.
Let's see. Well, who do we have here? We've got number 10.
And that is Blaine Patterson. Blaine's a sophomore. We saw him with some quarterback duties during football season, and are expecting probably good things out of him during football this next year. But Boston Patterson's younger brother, shows that he's just as good an athlete. And he steps out and looks over as Jaden Fisher takes a call, strike 1. Bergen's working from the stretch, and there's a bunt, but it has popped up way too high, and catcher couldn't get to it because it hit the background, but that's strike 2. So Jaden Fisher has 2 strikes on him real quick, and we're seeing Jet Bergen get down and get into that stretch and work pretty fast, making sure that the runner at first base doesn't have much of an opportunity. And Patterson keeps looking at him, taking another step or 2 off. He doesn't have much of a stretch, I'll say that. And then Jaden Fisher says, okay, you've had enough time. We're going to play a little cat and mouse. I'm going to get out of here, and you can come back in, and we'll think this whole thing over again. And there is a hard hit ball, and that's down to first base. And Fisher goes around to first, and Patterson is in at third. Nice job by Jaden. Did exactly what we've seen him do, what we saw him do last year, hit the ball on the nose. So a base hit, there's no outs, and runners on first and third. And the Cats are cooking. Here is Alex Rodriguez, the designated hitter. Coach Kilgore going through some signs over there, a little from the old school animated signs. He doesn't call out numbers. He actually goes through the signs. And there is a ball low and outside. It's not going to surprise me to see Jaden Fisher test the arm of young Max Bush, catching behind the plate.
and another run come in for the Cats. Burgess is taking time, looking things over. Here comes the pitch, and there's a foul ball that was off. Almost caught by Versluis. And that's going to even the count at 1-1. Fisher off at first. Patterson at third, and there's a swung on, fouled it back strike. So Rodriguez, who walked his last time up and came all the way around to third base, is now in the hole with a ball and 2 strikes. No outs, runners on first and third for the Cats. Jetberg is on the mound for the Purple Dragons. He looks things over. Here comes the pitch, and that one's fouled back too. Caught him a little bit on the inside and jammed him, but Rodriguez wisely, instead of trying to go for the goal, just kind of wasted it. So it's the top of the batting order for the Cats right after this. Oh, what a great job of cat and mouse by the Cats. Jaden Fisher caught the pitcher just looking, took about 12 steps towards second base. They turn around and threw the ball to second, and Patterson, courtesy runner for Lynn McIntyre, came around and scored, and on the ball coming into home plate, Fisher went to second base. So the Cats playing a little bit of creative ball here and playing a lot of heads up on the baseline. And there's a swung on for strike 3. There's one out, and here's the top of the batting order. Finn Versluis, he walked the first time up, and in that first inning just basically manufactured his own run. This is his third time up. He struck out in the top half of the second inning. Jaden still looking things over at second base, and there is a call strike. That was one that kind of caught Finn. He stepped down just a little bit, and that ball curved and onto the outside corner. So Burgess is going to stop and think about it. He's going to come off the mound for a second. Versluis steps out. He's back in, and we're all good. Here comes the next pitch. And swung on strike 2. Jaden Nichols, the guy that got the line shot that scored 2 runs in the second inning, will be the next batter. Fisher is doing a whole lot of things in order to make things difficult for Mr. Burgess out there on the mound.
He's really putting the pressure on him.
He is. And there's another pitch. It's a ball inside. That's ball 1. So we got a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 run in, and a runner on second base for the Cats. There's a call, strike 3. So Mr. Burgess is showing us he's got a little bit of that slow ball too. And now it looks like we're going to have another pitching change as Coach comes out. We'll have that pitching change. That is number 3. And Matt, while we've got that pitching change, let's thank some more of our sponsors.
Okay, what we got here? We've got thank you to Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to Hillcrest Church of Christ, the YMCA, Christian Healthcare Ministries, the Fawcett Greenhouse, baseball only.
All right. There we go, and we'll get going again. It looks like we thought that they were bringing someone in, but this is number 14, and number 14 is Cole Hayden, the junior. He's behind. We're going to be moving someone else into his position. Hayden was the third baseman, and we'll tell you who's playing third base here in just a minute. But the Cats have scored 1 more run. There's 2 outs, and we thought this might happen. Pittsburg coaches, and rightfully so. This is the first ball game of the season. We're going to see a lot of pitchers. So Burgess is down. How many pitches did he have?
He had 26 total.
Yeah, 26 total pitches. So good opportunity for Coach Eric Miller to see a lot of his pitchers here, the first ball game of the year. We were here last year for the first ball game of the year. We played St. Mary's Culligan, and it was snowing, believe it or not, Matt. And we were underneath this awning right here, but the ball game continued to go. Every time you could see my breath as we spoke. It's completely different now. I bet it's 74, 75 degrees.
It's really nice, that's all I can say.
Yeah, it really is. And there's another pitch coming. Home plate umpire is going to tell him about another pitch or two, and then we will be ready to move on. Batter for the Cats is going to be Jaden Nichols. Jaden Fisher is at second base. 1 run is scored for the Cats, making the score 4-1 in the top half of the 4th inning. The home plate umpire says, okay, maybe one more, but everybody get back to their position. Senior Nichols comes up to Hayden and says, okay, man, it's your deal. So here we go. Now it looks like Burgess has moved over to third base, and Nichols continues at shortstop. And Jaden Nichols, the Cats' third baseman, is up. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game with that line shot that scored 2 runs, and there's a ball low for all 1. 2 outs, and the Cats have scored every inning but the 3rd. They scored 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, none in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. Here comes the next pitch underway, and that one's right through the middle as well, and it's not going to be caught, and everybody is safe. Yeah, that call was made, and it was an out, but it was a fine throw. But the out is 6-3. Cats scored 1. That makes the score 4-1. And we'll be back in just a minute. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. John Ball and Matt Ball with you. We're glad to have you with us as the Neosho Wildcats are up on the Purple Dragons from Pittsburg. Bottom half of the 4th inning, and the score is 4-1 in favor of the Cats. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats, and he throws a strike to the first batter, and that is Beck Fern. Beck is the first baseman for the Purple Dragons. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and that is strike 2. He flied out to center field his first time up. Boston looks down. Here comes the pitch, and that's a high popper. Goes to Jaden. Jaden up and over to McInturf for the out. So 5-3, and there is one down. Nice play by Jaden Nichols that time as he was able to play that high hopper. That ball, Matt, bounced probably 15 feet in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And he was there waiting for it to come down and showed the strength of his arm in order to get a speedy Fern. There's the first pitch on number 19. And number 19 is a pinch. That's Connor King. Connor King is up, and there's a swung on for strike 1. King is the designated hitter, and there's a ball and a strike. Here comes the next pitch from Boston, and it's going to be low for a ball. Cats are just swimming right along, but we certainly need to get on with this. We don't need to let a team like Purple Dragons hang around if we can keep from it. There was a curveball, looked like it was on the outside corner, and King was not going to bite. Makes the count 3-1. Boston looks down. Home plate umpire says, wait a minute, let's call timeout. King steps out of the batter's box, takes a swing or two, steps back in. Here comes the pitch from Boston. And that's a ball. I believe that's his first walk. He's had a couple of hit batters, but I believe that's his first walk. And coming up is Cole Hayden. He is a big young man. He probably stands 6'2", maybe, Matt. And certainly is not a beanpole.
No.
He could hit the ball, I believe. Here comes the first pitch, and there is a ball that is hit, and it's into the... It's going to be a foul ball, fortunately for the Cats, because if they'd gotten in the corner, they could have run until the cows come home, whenever that might be. But Brody Crane got over there, even with his best effort, that was going to probably get a runner on third base. So foul ball, strike one. And you hear the noise back behind us. We're right on a street in Pittsburg. In fact, this ballpark is actually owned by the city. The school does not own a ballpark. As we said earlier, the Purple Dragons and St. Mary's Culligans have to use the same field. There comes the next pitch, and that's a hard hit ball, and it's being camped underneath by Drake, and he comes up with Drake Jennings, and he makes the play. So there's 2 outs, and that was just a long fly ball. And the runner will remain at first base. Here comes Max Bush. He is the catcher, the sophomore catcher, but he bats from the left-hand side of the plate. And here comes the first pitch. And looked like they were going to try to get him. Canton Smith gets a snap throw over to first base. McInturf is there, but the runner's back in plenty of time. A runner is a designated hitter, Connor King. Here comes the next. Boston's looking it over, surveying, and here comes the next pitch, and that one's high and outside for a ball. Cats not having a whole lot of things that they have to do because Boston is such a prolific pitcher, but certainly every play that we've had to make, we've gobbled it up and been able to get the runner out of first base in plenty of time. And the count now is 2 balls and a strike on the sophomore catcher, Bush. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a high fly ball. Brody Crane's trying to get underneath it. Looks like he's got it for the third out. So, no runs, no hits, no barrels, 1 man left on base. And at the end of 4 innings, the Cats are up by a score of 4-1. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook.com/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Got it. To keep up on the latest Neosho broadcast ball game schedule, be sure to like us on Facebook at Facebook.com KNEO Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KNEO 917 Sports, or download KNEO iPhone and Android phone app. You can also watch us Watch all of our Wildcat Sports broadcasts inside our apps. Download the KNEO iPhone and Android phone app today.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. Thank you, Matt. Cats are coming up to the top half of the 5th inning. The score is 4-0. I want to remind everybody again to be with us at home. Welcome the Cats back home on Thursday night when we'll take on the Grove Ridge Runners. The Cats have had an extended away series. By extended, I mean we went to Florida and played 5 ball games, won 4 of those, and the very next ball game is over here at Pittsburgh. So be sure and be there that night and welcome the Cats back home. There'll be a JV ball game after this one. There will also be a JV ball game after that, and that will be at the ballpark, and that ballpark is at the Marion Family Complex there in Neosho. Number 14, Cole Hayden is the pitcher, and here comes the first pitch, and that ball is hit high and out of sight for Brody Crane. Brody has struck out twice. He's just waiting to get his, because if he hits the ball, he can send it a long way. So no balls and a strike on Brody Crane. There's a ball low and outside. Brody was the one that played right field and made that catch over there in foul territory to retire the side just a few minutes ago. Standing in there, here comes the next pitch from Hayden, and there's a called strike. Fooled Brody just a little bit. I guess it curved in right there on that corner. Drake Jennings is up after that and is up next, and he's the one that hit the ball almost. In fact, it hit the fence just barely foul. There's a fastball on the outside, quite a bit outside, from Cole Hayden. And there is a ball that's hit well, and Crane is going to run. He's going to round first, and he's going to come into second base with the speed that he's got standing up. So Brody Crane gets his, and he's on second base, and the Cats has got something going in the top half of the 5th inning. Drake Jennings has struck out, but like I said, the last time he got up, he got a hold of the ball mat, and he fair tagged it.
Yeah, he did.
So he's looking over at Coach Keith Kilgore over on third base. And he stands in there. Cole Hayden is just kind of playing cat and mouse a little bit with Brody Crane there at second base. And there's swung on. He was way ahead of that one for strike 1. Drake's not too happy about that. He realized that the minute he swung, he was way out in front of that pitch, and he jumped out fast. Crane's on second, no outs. It is the top half of the 5th inning. The Cats are up by a score of 4-1. Yeah, Drake is
he's got
at
that,
least showing bunt.
Well,
it could very well do that. Canton Smith will be up next. Canton is one of those that has the ability to put the ball into play as well. And there's a called strike 2 on the left fielder. Drake walked his first time up in the first inning. He's got no balls and 2 strikes. He'll have to protect the plate now. And he's waiting as Hayden looks back at Crane. And that ball is outside. Almost got away from catcher Max Bush. Nice job of being able to keep the ball in front of him that time to keep Crane from getting to third base. We're in Pittsburg, Kansas. It is the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Cats are up by a score of 4-1. There's the next pitch, and there is a solid ball. It is sent down to third base, and the runner is safe at first base because he got pulled off. And the first baseman threw the ball down to third, but Crane made it on around to third base. So we've got runners on the first and third. Give Drake a infield hit. And here's Canton Smith. Nice job by the Cats, aggressive base running that time. Third baseman grabbed the ball and looked Brody Crane back and threw it over to first. But by that time, Crane showed his speed, and there is a ball that is going to be thrown down to second base, but there's no way that was even close. So Drake hustles down to second. We've got runners on second and third. No outs, top half of the fifth inning. Catcher Canton Smith is up. He's got one ball. Hudson Williams, Lynn McInturf up in this inning as well. Hayden looks down. Here comes the pitch, and that ball is outside. That'll make the count 2 balls and no strikes to Canton Smith. You can see that the sun is leaving in. The clouds are coming in a little bit, and there is a solid hit by Canton Smith, exactly where I told you, Matt, right down that power alley between first and second base, and there's 2 more runs score, and Canton has a stand-up double. So the Cats are not done yet, as Canton's on second base. And we're going to have a pinch runner, or a courtesy runner, because Canton is the catcher. And it looks like that courtesy runner is freshman Dane Arthur. So he is on second base, and here is Hudson Williams. Hudson Williams is played shortstop. He looks bunt and holds back for ball 1. Hudson flied out to center field, then he grounded out 5-3 in the second inning on his first time up. After him will be Lynn McInturf, who has come around and scored. In fact, he scored 2 runs for the Cats. Hayden looking down, coming across, and there's a ball outside again. There's a little bit of chin music there. Hudson drops out of the way for ball 2. Dane Arthur down at first base. The freshman, we saw him play a lot of basketball, and he punted occasionally on the football team, so he's quite a little athlete in himself, as well as his brother, who provides a left-handed arm to the pitching rotation. He's off first base, third base, second base, and he's looking over. There we go, and there's another ball. And that is ball 4. So Hudson Williams walks. Arthur did his job, which was to mix things up. And here comes another pitching coach. And we'll see if we're going to make a change or we're just going to talk for a minute. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Here's Lynn McInturf, runners on first and second. Dane Arthur at second base and Hudson Williams on first. McInturf has scored 2 times for the Cats tonight. Both times after a base on balls. Here comes the first pitch, and that's low and outside for ball 1. Looks down at Coach Kilgore to see just exactly what he needs to do. And steps back in. Here comes the next pitch, and that's ball low outside. Cole Hayden on the mound for the Purple Dragons. He is the third, maybe the 4th pitcher we've seen so far. Matt, I've lost count after a while.
Let's see. He is our 3rd.
And there's a call strike.
Yeah, he's the 3rd pitcher.
And Austin Patterson has gone the distance for the Cats so far and would anticipate he is on course to go ahead and finish the ball game. And there is a ball that is hit foul. It's out of play for ball one. There's one ball and no strikes on the batter. And Hayden looks down. He is going to pitching from the stretch. And here comes the pitch. And he kind of swung at it just a little bit, but that was enough to get us, so there was an out. So that's the first out, and here's Jaden Fisher. Jaden had a single his last time up and brought in a couple of runs. Hit the ball right on the nose, which is what we've come to expect from him. Here comes the first pitch, and he's swinging already for strike one. I'm not sure whether he was swinging or whether he was trying to hold that back, but in either case, he went and broke the plane of the plate. So there's no balls and a strike on the second baseman, Jaden Fisher. Here comes the next pitch, and that's going to be a little bit outside for a ball. Even the count at 1-1. Fisher, Rodriguez, then it's the top of the batting order for the Cats. The shortstop is way out of position because he's trying to play for the pickoff. And the Cats just go ahead and move, and they take it. And then we have a double steal, and it works perfect. So on that, Hudson Williams is at second base, and Canton Smith is over on third base. Or not Canton Smith, I guess. Actually, that's Arthur. And he takes a big step off. And there is a pitch that is inside for a ball. Cats have been very aggressive, Matt, on the bases. And I think that's messing with some of the Purple Dragons pitching a little bit, which is good for us, bad for them.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
There comes a slow-hanging curveball on the outside corner, and that is a full count of 3-2. Runners on second and third, and there's one out. The batter is second baseman Jaden Fisher. He's got a hit in this ball game already. He steps in. Here comes the ball four.
Bases loaded.
Now the bases are loaded, and here is Alex Rodriguez. He is the designated hitter. He's walked and he has struck out. And we know that he happens to get a hold of the ball, just put it in play, and we score runs. He looks down at Coach Keith Kilgore at third base. He steps in, kind of settles himself in a little bit. Here comes the first pitch from Cole Hayden. And that's fouled right straight back over for a foul ball, strike one. Top of the batting order. After this, there's one out. It is the top half of the fifth inning. The Cats have scored twice, and bases are loaded. Just put the ball in play. Just put the ball in play. And there's a ball that got away from the catcher, and there's going to be one run score, and everybody else moves up. Well, Canton Smith comes in actually Dane Arthur comes in to score. That moves Williams over to third base and Jaden Fisher to second base. And Alex Rodriguez steps in. He's got one ball and one strike. There is one out, and that's the third run to come across in the top half of the fifth inning. Cole Hayden on the mound. There's his next pitch, and there is a ground ball to the third baseman. Third baseman is going to take the ball over to first, but he's safe. And another run scores. Hudson Williams scores on the play, and Rodriguez shows us his speed, and Jaden Fisher alertly goes over to third base. And here's the top of the batting order. Finn Versluis, he's walked the first time up. It looks like that we may be going to have another pitching change. We're going to stop, and the ball is going to Coach Miller. Decide exactly what they're going to do While they're deciding to do that, we're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
Well, Hayden is out. He threw 33 pitches, and the new pitcher is Christian Corrigan, a sophomore. So we let him throw just a few pitches, and then we'll be underway. The Cats so far have got 8 runs. There is 1 out, and we've got runners on first and third. And the batter is going to be the top of the batting order, Finn Versluis. Matt, the Cats have done a really, really good job of being aggressive on the bases, and I think that's made a huge difference in this ball game tonight.
Well, it's made all the difference, really. I mean, when you're a pitcher and you're really having to pay attention to your runners who are taking such an extraordinary lead, it can really mess with your tempo.
Yeah,
your pitching. You know,
it really can, and the other part about that makes a whole lot of difference is our Neosho batters are very disciplined. They're making sure that they're not swinging at a bunch of junk. So we're going to be ready to go here in just a minute. Krogan is a sophomore. He also does a little bit of plays infield and outfield, and kind of all around position, and he's going to be pitching. He's ready to go. Cats are up by a score of 8-1, and it's the top half of the 5th inning. There is 1 out. I want to remind everybody to be with us for our post-game show, which will be brought to you by Arvest Bank, who is proud to make Neosho their home. Arvest Bank in Neosho, and we'll have Coach Keith Kilgore and maybe some others of the Cats come up to be with us as well. Finn Versluis struck out twice. He manufactured the first run. Once he got a base on the ball, stole second, went to third on a overthrow. And there's a bunt.
There it is.
And they got the out. Jaden Fisher kind of laid back just a little bit. It was a bunt right to the pitcher, but that was a 1-3. And there are 2 outs. Did what he needed to do, because I got Rodriguez over to second base.
Absolutely.
So here's Jaden Nichols. Jaden is the one that started things off for the Cats with that line shot, and there is a ball that he just ducked, literally ducked, because that would have been a little chin music for ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. And there's a called strike, caught the inside corner from Christian Croden. He looks down. He's not paying a bit of attention to the runners at third. And there is a hard hit ball. The left fielder is underneath it. That was Alex Johnson to make the play to end the tie. But the Cats have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, and the score now is 8-1 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 5th inning right after this. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Fawcett Greenhouse at 898 Baxter Street in Neosho is a proud supporter of Neosho sports. Springtime brings growing season and baseball to the Neosho area, and Fawcett Greenhouse supports all Neosho spring sports and wants to wish all Wildcats good luck for a happy and safe season of competition. Fawcett Greenhouse can supply you with all your home landscaping and gardening needs. For more information, the number is 417-451-5369 or FawcettGreenhouse.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Mike from Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a few moments to give you hope today. Are you feeling overwhelmed with the daily struggles of affording rent, paying for groceries, buying gas? I want you to know that there is a God who is big enough to handle all these problems and bring you relief. He wants you to live free from worry and stress. James 4:2 says, "You have not because you ask not." Have you asked God to help you today? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas, bottom half of the fifth inning. Boston Patterson has thrown 68 pitches, and we're getting ready to start, or 60 pitches, and we're getting ready to start the bottom half of the fifth inning. We know that he pitched a ball game where he had 99 pitches and was able to make it all the way through, so we might expect the same out of him. First batter up for the Purple Dragons is number 1, and that is Cooper Vaughn, the center fielder. Here comes the first pitch from Boston. Ball a little bit low and inside. Vaughn's been up one time, and he struck out back in the second inning. Looks like Boston is really settling in, and there's another one of those pitches that was fouled off for strike one. That wasn't really a changeup type pitch. It was just a solid, straightforward pitch with a little off speed. Here comes the next pitch. Canton Smith trying to do a good job of framing that ball, giving the umpire every opportunity to call it a strike, but he wasn't having any of it. So there's 2 balls and a strike on number 1, and there's that little off-speed pitch that kind of drops off. That makes the count 3-1 to Vaughn, the center fielder. As we said, he struck out back in the second inning. Here comes Boston's next pitch, and that was a ball that got right past Boston, got into center field. One of the first hits that, last 2 hits that they've had in the whole ball game. So Cooper Vaughn starts things off for the Purple Dragons, the bottom half of the fifth inning. He's on first base. And here is Alex Johnson. He was hit by a pitch in the third inning and stranded at third base. Comes the first pitch, and it's low and outside for a ball. Sun's going down and starting to cool off a little bit. You can see the shadows are right up over home plate, which is always something the pitchers have to contend with here at JC Ballpark. And the batters as well, because they're looking at a pitch coming from the sunlight into that shadow. And that one was high for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes, runner on first base. Boston paying attention to the batter, and there's a pitch, that little sweeping curve ball for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes. Boston looks over, he goes from his stretch, he throws the ball over to McInturf at first base. The runner gets back in plenty of time. Boston's disciplined enough to know that he needs to really bear down and focus. Let's get these guys out of here and come back, and let's get the bats going again. Looks down, here comes the pitch to Canton, and it was a slow breaking ball, and Vaughn does not bite on it. Or Johnson doesn't bite on it. He looks back. Here comes the next pitch, and there's called strike 2. That makes the count full. There'll be a JV ball game right after this one. I want to be sure and have you join us on Thursday night when the Cats come home for real. There's the next pitch, and there is a off-speed pitch, and it's going to be knocked back and out of play. And the count will remain full. No outs and a runner on first base for the Purple Dragons of Pittsburg. Boston throwing the ball back over to Lynn McInturf, basically just kind of saying, I'm not trying to get you, but I just want you to know that I know you're there. This ball field is pretty interesting in that, and there's the next pitch, and got him for strike 3. That the infield is turf, but the outfield is all natural grass. We've seen a couple of those in the past. We know where there's one Central in Kansas, in Springfield. We've played on that ballpark, and it is turf on the inside and grass on the outfield. There's that slow curveball for strike 1. Boston does a nice job. He's mastering his pitches, and he's between he and Canton Smith, they are separating them pretty well. Boston looks over. Here comes the next pitch, and there's call strike 2. Boston's way ahead of Caleb Miller, the right fielder. No balls and 2 strikes. He's got an opportunity to waste one if he wants to. And he throws that one a little high and outside for a ball. Top of the batting order, Jed Burgess will be up next for the Purple Dragons. Boston looks down. Here comes the pitch. And nice job by Canton to stop that ball and smother it. That evens the count at 2-2. Boston kind of working at his own pace. He looks down, looks back over at second base, looks back. Here comes the pitch, and there's a foul ball. It's knocked right back into the Purple Dragons dugout. And the count will remain the same, and we'll do it again. Sun's starting to go down just a little bit, but it's really still pleasant out here this afternoon. Boston Patterson on the mound for the Cats. That was his kind of sweeping off-speed curveball. It was high. That makes the count full at 3-2 for the right fielder, Caleb Miller. Boston looks down. Here comes the pitch, and there's ball 4. So the Purple Dragons have got something doing. They've got runners on first and second. That is the second walk that has been given out by Boston Patterson. Jet Burgess, who has pitched, he's played shortstop and is back at shortstop again, is struck out in the first inning, and he grounded out 6-3 in the third inning. There's the first pitch, and he was way in front of that for strike 1. I believe this is the second time that Boston has had to pitch out of trouble with runners on first and second base. We'll see how this comes about. And there is a ground ball that is hit to the third base down to second. Made the double play ball. Great job that time from Williams to Fisher to McInturf. So we've got a 6-4-3, and the Cats are out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on at the end of 5 innings. The score is your Neosho Wildcats 8 and the Purple Dragons from Pittsburg 1. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
The Cats batted around in the 5th inning, so here's Brody Crane. He started it all off for us with a nice double. And there is an off-speed pitch that comes in there from Grogan for strike 2. Brody swung at the first one, went fishing for that one. He'll get his here, and we'll see if he can't drive the ball. And he does. He drives that ball, but unfortunately it is a foul ball. But it was a line shot out of play. So the count remains 0-2. Cats are up top half of the 6th inning, 8-1 over the Purple Dragons from Pittsburg. Here comes the next pitch from Christian Groden, and he got him. Fooled him with a slow breaking ball, and he's out. So there's a first out of the side. And here's Drake Jennings. Drake had a single his last time up, and he came around to score. Here comes the first pitch, and that's a called strike, caught the outside corner. A little bit of a curveball that time from Mr. Grogan. Here comes the next pitch. And that one hit in front of the place for a ball. Grogan on the mound for the Purple Dragons, and there was another pitch on the outside for a ball. Christian Grogan is a sophomore, plays infield as well as pitch, so Coach Ernie Miller's getting, or Eric Miller's getting a lot of opportunities to look at pitchers today. And the left fielder for the Cats was way out in front of that one. Drake Jennings steps back in, and the count is 2-2. There's one out. And there was a ball on the outside that makes the count full at 3-2. Canton Smith will be up next, then Hudson Williams. All of those scored in that big 5th inning. And there's a ball that bounces, and it's going to be ball 4. So Jennings goes to first base. Canton took a pitch and drove it into right center field his last time up, and brought in a couple of runs for the Cats. Now, Mr. Jennings has got some speed. We'll see if we can get something going again. The Cats have been very aggressive on the bases. And there is a solid hit that is played right in front of the left fielder, Alex Johnston, and that's going to be an out. So that's the second out, and the runner is still at first base. But that was a well-hit ball. It just was Mr. Johnson didn't have any place to move at all, and he picked it up. Here's Hudson Williams. He walked the last time up and came around to score in the 5th inning. Cats need to get something going if they want to try to put this ball game out of reach. Got him. Nice play going down to second base with the steal. So Hudson Williams will start the next inning. Jennings was out trying to steal third base. So the Cats, no runs, no hits, no errors. There was one walk, and they stranded none at the end of 5.5. The score is still 8-1 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back after this.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. Neosho Wildcats in their first ball game. They've yet to play a ball game in the state of Missouri. They were 4-1 down in Florida, and we come right back over and come over here to Pittsburg, Kansas to take on the Purple Dragons. On the mound for the Cats is Boston Patterson. He has thrown 81 pitches now, and it is the 6th inning, and there's not a doubt, if we don't watch what we're doing, he could have a complete game. We know that he pitched one complete game with 99 pitches while he was in Florida. Here comes the first pitch, and that's a call, strike one, and that is to the guy that started things on the mound for the Purple Dragons, and that was Carson Nicholson, who's playing shortstop now. And there's a hard hit ball to Hudson Williams. He picks it up, gets it over to McInturf for the out. Great throw. Nice throw. 6-3 for the first out. Bang, bang, because Nicholson's got some speed, doesn't he? Made that very interesting. Here is Beck Fern. Fern has hit the ball hard on the nose. The last time he was up, he grounded out 5-3. So a couple of pitches, and that's the way to preserve those pitches. There's the first one. It's called strike one. Boston looks down. Here comes the pitch, and there's called strike two. Patton Smith, the foxy, cagey catcher for Neosho, held the ball right there, giving the umpire plenty of opportunity to make sure he called it a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. A little wasted ball outside to the left-handed batter, Fern. He steps out, steps back in. Boston looks down. He stretches. Here comes the pitch. And a little bit high. That evens the count at 2-2. As we've said, the Cats go from here and they come home Thursday night and they take on the Grove Ridge Runners. Well, there it was, call strike 3. Yes, sir. Buston Patterson is just getting right after it. 2 down. Grove Ridge Runners was where Coach Drew Osborne, who's an assistant coach here at Neosho, was the head coach for several years and really made that baseball program a good program. So there might be a little something extra right there, and there's a call strike. Boston just continues to move right along. The Cats will be coming up in the top half of the 7th inning, and there's a ball low. And it will be Hudson Williams, Lim McInturf, and Jaden Fisher. Boston looking down, and here comes the next pitch. And there it is. That's that little sweeping curveball that just drops in at the last minute for a call strike. So a ball and 2 strikes. We've got a ground out, then we've got a strikeout. And a strikeout here would just set it straight. He has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is a high fly ball. Versluis is in. He makes the catch. And
there it is.
Retires the side. 3 up and 3 down for the Wildcats, and the Purple Dragons are going to have one more time at bat, as will the Wildcats. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Yeah, we are at JC Ballpark playing the Pittsburg Purple Dragons, and we want to thank some of our sponsors. Let's see, we got Neosho School District, People's Bank of Seneca, Missouri Southern State University, Happy Egg, Compton CPA Group, First Community Bank, Specialty Risk Insurance, ProLube Tire and Auto Center, Southwest Missouri Bank, Farm Bureau, Josh Dotson, Freeman Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Calvary Baptist Neosho, Neosho Daily News, Crowder College, State Farm Eric Norris.
All right,
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you very much. We appreciate every one of our sponsors, because if it wasn't for them, as we've said so many times, you wouldn't be where you are, and we wouldn't be where we are. And where are we? We are in Pittsburg, Kansas. It is the bottom half of the 6th inning. A new pitcher in for the Purple Dragons. It is a sophomore, Alex Hinspeeder. He pitches and plays outfield as well. So Coach Eric Miller getting a look at all of his pitchers here in this very first ball game. Now, that's not necessarily true, Matt. They played in a jamboree, and they played Gerard and a couple of other people. But as far as a full-blown ball game, this is it. So coaches are trying to get every opportunity that they can to see everybody. And here's Hudson Williams, and there's a solid hit right back up the middle. Catcher, the second baseman, is going to try to get it, but he is safe. Oh my goodness!
Called him out.
Home plate umpire, or base umpire, called him out. So Hudson Williams is out on a really, really nice play from 4 to 3. Cash O'Brien is out there at second base, and see why he's playing defensively, don't we? Here's Lynn McInturf. McInturf has come around and scored twice. He has walked twice and struck out once. And there's the first pitch, and it's called strike one. That was really a nice, well-hit ball by Hudson Williams. And O'Brien went deep and backhanded it and turned around and made the play. There's a ball that got away from catcher Bush. Nobody on base, so no harm, no foul. McInturf steps back in. Hinspeeder looks down. He goes from the stretch, and here comes the first pitch, and that bounces in front of the home plate for a ball. So we've got 2 balls and a strike on Lynn McInturf. After him will be Jaden Fisher, A-Rod, and then the top of the batting order. Let's get just a few more runs so we can make this solid. And
tipped it.
He swung on and fouled that one off for a strike. Leaving the count at 2-2. On the big first baseman, McInturf, for the Cats. The way he and Boston Patterson have kind of played back and forth at first base to keep the runners close has been kind of a thing of beauty in itself, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it has been.
Oh, there was a call, strike 3. That was a real off-speed inside curveball. And the Cats have got 2 outs. Here's Jaden Fisher. Jaden has been hit by a pitch. He has had a hit, and he has walked. So he's had a pretty productive evening at the bat. Here comes the next pitch, and that's a called strike from the sophomore in-speeder. Looks down. He goes from the windup now, and there's a solid hit that's going to possibly go right back up the middle, and they get him. Got him. A nice bang play. That went from 6 to 3, and the Cats are just like that, 3 up, 3 down, and we'll be going to the bottom half of the 7th inning. After 6.5, it is 8-1 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back after this.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. It is the bottom half of the 7th inning. Boston Patterson trying to close this ball game out. He's pitched a dandy. He's had 5 strikeouts. The score is 8-1, and he is at 92 pitches, and he can pitch 105. So certainly hoping he gets the opportunity to finish this ball game. There's the first pitch, and it was a ball on the inside. The batter is Cole Hayden, who has had 2 or 3 different positions, mainly pitch. He had 44 pitches, and there is a foul ball that's going to be out of play. And leaving the count at 1-1, he has flied out and has grounded out. The flag is not hardly moving at all out there in dead center field. There is a pitch that Boston thought he had, but it was not. It was on the outside. It was a ball. Here comes the next pitch underway, and they broke the plane, so that was, I believe he called it a ball. He did not break the plane, so the count now is 3-1. In the bottom half of the 7th inning, 3 up and 3 down, and the Cats have a sweet ride home. There's call strike 2. Ooh. Yeah, they just, as Coach Larry Perkins would say, a Linda Ronstadt pitch. Blew by you.
Oh, my.
And that's exactly what that was. So here comes the next pitch. And that's walked him. Yeah. So Hayden's on first with a walk. And here's the sophomore, Max Bush. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter is a senior, Nolan Turnbull. And we're going to take time out, and Coach Kilgore's going to go out and talk to Boston. He's probably getting real close to the number of pitches that he has in mind, wants to check on him and see how he's doing. And I can already tell you what Boston is going to say. He's going to say, "I got this, Coach. Let me finish." Yeah. And he's through, though. He is through, so we're going to call to the bullpen. Nice job for the senior in his outing with 5 strikeouts through 92, 93 pitches, and he gets hugs from everybody in the ballpark. And coming in, we'll see who the new pitcher is. He's going to have to turn around, but it looks to me like it's number 22, and that is, I believe that's Brody Arthur. Brody Arthur, the left-hander, coming in. We talked about his brother Dane earlier, a freshman. He is a senior. He was as we said, he provides a left-handed version of this pitching rotation. So we're excited to get him in here and to get this ball game out of the way. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats. We're in Pittsburg, Kansas. It is the bottom half of the 7th inning if you're just tuning in, and the Cats are up by a score of 8-1, trying to get a couple of strikeouts and get this ball game over with. We're going to take a real quick timeout, and we'll be back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know He's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him." If you need to reconnect with God today, He's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, He's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with Him isn't as it should be, cry out to Him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask Him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Lefty Brody Arthur in for the Cats to try to make the save for Boston Patterson, and he has already got a strike on the batter. He looks over at first base. Here comes the next pitch. It's going to be a ground ball, and the ground ball goes to third base. Third base comes up with it, which is Jaden Nichols, and it's over to McInturf for the first out. Runner goes on to second base, Cole Hayden, but a nice play that time from third baseman Jaden Nichols. 1 down, 2 more, and we go home real happy right after the JV ball game. Here's number 1, Cooper Vaughn. Vaughn has struck out, and then he's had a single in his 2 times to bat. Arthur just basically throws strikes. He mixes up his pitches a little bit from the left-hand side and has a natural curveball, but he bears and throws, and there's called strike 1. Cats are all playing straight away. There's a runner on second base. And here comes the next pitch. And that's a ball on the outside corner for ball. Count even at 1-1. Arthur looks back at second base. Here comes a pitch. A little bit low and outside, got away from Canton, and Canton just going to hang on to it. He lost his footing there a little bit, or he would have tried, but the runner, Cole Hayden, made it over to third base. So a runner on third. There is 1 out, bottom half of the 7th. Arthur in relief of Boston Patterson. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a ground ball. It goes to Boston. And he just runs back and tags the guy out. Yeah, got the run going into home. So that is a 1 unassisted, and there's 2 outs. Nice job that time by Arthur to look like he was going to throw the ball home and then turned around and tagged the man out himself. But there is a runner on first base, and he is on Cooper Vaughn by way of a fielder's choice. 2 down, and here's Alex Johnson. He was hit by a pitch, and he struck out. Comes the first pitch. Now that is number 23. Check that. Number 23 is Kane C. Kane C is a junior infielder type pitcher as well. There's the next pitch, and there's a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Stay tuned for the post-game show, and we'll be talking with Coach Keith Kilgore and maybe a player or two for the game. And there's a throw down to first base, and it got away from McInturf. I believe they had him. It had been a little better throw to first, but it got away from McInturf. But McInturf got back, and the runner is still there at first base. Two balls and a strike, 2 outs. Arthur in relief of Patterson, and that's a ball high. 3 balls and a strike, runner on first base. Scores 8-1 in favor of the Cats. Here comes the next pitch underway. Call strike 2 on the outside corner. So it's full count, 3-2, runner on first, 2 out. Arthur looks at first. Here comes the pitch, and it's fouled away. Kane C is the pinch hitter for the Purple Dragons. Cats have not really done. Oh, strike 3, got him! Caught him looking. And that ends the ball game. And the Cats win it by a score of 8-1. Stay tuned for the post-game show when we talk to Coach Keith Kilgore. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back after this.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. The Cats win it by a score of 8-1. That takes their record to 5-1, and they've yet to play a game in Missouri. Matt, the Cats really didn't do anything spectacular. They just did some really heads-up base running, and they were very disciplined at the plate.
Yeah, and just like you said, I mean, they were very aggressive on the bases tonight. Pitchers did a really good job. And we got some base hits out there, Yeah, we did. Really good base hits. So
we got the base hits when we needed them. Boston Patterson, I'm sure he would tell you that his defense backed him up, and that gave him the courage to go ahead. What did we say? He had 94, 95 pitches? 92. And Brody Arthur comes in and finishes it up for him in order to get the win. So the Cats win it. It was a good, hard-fought ball game. We're excited to see them come back and play their first game in Neosho on Tuesday night. That ball game will be
Thursday night.
Thursday night, I'm sorry, that's right. This is Tuesday, isn't it?
That's right.
I'm already messed up. So
hey, we're looking forward to that home game, though.
Yeah,
You're really looking forward to it now.
We are looking forward to the home game. We're excited about the opportunity to do that. We're waiting on Coach Keith Kilgore to come up. This is the post-game show, and the post-game show is being brought to you by Arvest Bank. At Arvest Bank in Neosho, we believe in the power of serving others. From small businesses to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we got you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares and who wants to help you reach your financial goal. Arvest Banks in Neosho, proud to make Neosho home. We're going to take another break, and then we'll see if Coach Keith Kilgore will be up here and visit with us. But you're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome back to Pittsburg, Kansas. Looks like Coach Kilgore is in the process of trying to talk with some of his players. Great job tonight by Boston Patterson. And then we hit the ball, and as we said earlier, we didn't do anything just real dramatic. We had a nice double play to get Boston out of trouble in one inning, but that was about it. He had 5 Ks, and then Brody Arthur came in to win for the save, and he had 2 strikeouts in the process. Cats go to 5-1. The Purple Dragons, being their first ball game, are 0-1. Cats will be at home on Thursday night as we take on, as we said earlier, the Grove Ridge Runners. That ball game will be at 5 o'clock from the Marion Family Complex there at Neosho. If you can't make it out, and come on out and These cats are deserving of your support, and they've not been able to play a game yet in Missouri, so we're excited about that. Come on out and join us, but if you can't, we'll have the pregame show on about 4:30, and we'll move from there. So until we happen to see you again, we will be with you again on Thursday night. John Ball and Matt Ball from Pittsburg saying